this is Pilates at Home with Body. Today's video is a shorter version of my last live online class from Wednesday evening. If you are interested to join these Wednesday evening classes, you can find the information and the link to that in my Facebook group, for which you will find a link in the description of this video. Today we are focusing on our lower body, especially the legs, and also on our coordination and our balance, mostly in standing exercises, or actually all of them are standing exercises. So let's stand up. First of all, what is really helpful by positions that are challenging your balance is the posture. A bit more about that in a moment, but I want to first mention the core. The core is the center of our body. Really, even if you don't think about it, it works all day long just right now to keep us upright, standing, or even sitting. So when you are doing some positions that are really challenging your balance, like standing on your toes or standing on one foot, you are always focusing on your core. You are really activating your core, pulling your navel to your spine, keeping your core muscles active. That really does help. And what else really helps still is if you pick a focus point on the other end of the room, somewhere on the wall, on your eye level. It can be anything like a picture on the wall, a book on the shelf, a pattern on the wallpaper, or even a crack on the wallpaper, whatever you can see in your eyesight without having to turn your head anywhere, just looking straight ahead. So focusing on that point and really focusing on keeping your core active and maintaining your posture will really help you to maintain those more challenging positions. Let's look at our posture. Before we start, we want to have our feet hip wide open. Knees are soft, slightly bent, not overstretched. Pelvis is slightly tilted, tailbone is pointing down directly to the ground in between the feet, and that already, you can notice, it activates your core, and you want to keep your core active the whole time. You want to, especially at the exhales, thinking about pulling your navel to your spine, really keeping it active. You want to have your spine long, like there is the string pulling you up from the top of your head. Shoulders are wide and relaxed. You can draw these little shoulder circles to open them up, and also to place your shoulder blades down towards your back pocket. Release it. Your arms are just hanging right now next to your body. You can close your eyes for a moment, just observe how this position feels for your body. You can just go through your whole body, monitoring, kind of scanning how you feel. If you feel any kind of tension or stiffness or cold or warm or whatever sensations around your head, your neck, shoulders, your upper body, your chest, your back, the place between your shoulder blades, your trunk, your arms, your hips, your thighs, knees, calves, and then arriving down to your feet. Observe a bit how you are standing on your feet. It's actually quite amazing that we can maintain our balance on such a small surface like our feet compared to the rest of our body and our weight. Just notice if you have your weight equally on both feet, or are you leaning toward one side a bit more. First, just notice it and just observe it without doing anything. And then you can start bringing your weight forward towards your toes, and then bringing it back towards your heel. And then again, forward and backward, just swinging slightly and very gently, keeping this straight, long position of your spine, keeping your core active, your pelvis in the center. Just notice how far you can go without losing this position. When is the moment when you would need to change anything in order to not fall forward or backwards. And Then the next time you are forward to your toes, you can bring your weight to the sides, to the outer edge of one foot. Then towards the back to the heels, drawing a circle to the other outer edge of your other foot. And then arriving again forward and just keep drawing small circles. Again, noticing how far you can go without losing your position. Just observing this connection between your feet and the ground. Keep breathing. And then slowly stop and reverse the circle. Draw a few circles on the edges of your feet to the other direction as well. Spine is long. Core is active. Navel to your spine and breathe. Shoulders relaxed. And then slowly find back to the center. Now, after noticing all these edges, try to now this time consciously distributing your weight equally on both feet. You can open your eyes and with the next inhale, start lifting your arms towards the ceiling and then just start reaching up towards the ceiling with one hand after the other, stretching out the sides. Warming up the body like you just got up, or you want to maybe, I don't know, pick an apple from the tree. And now move your hips a bit, your knees, reaching, breathing, just really warming up the body, stretching out the body, make it in a way that it feels good after all day of sitting in front of the computer or the desk. And then slowly stop and interlace your fingers above your head, except the index fingers, they are pointing towards the ceiling. That is helping us to think, really be able to think of this lengthening shoulders. Stay down, inhale, reach, and exhale, bending to the right, shoulders on top of each other. Core is active, keeping your balance. Try consciously pressing the outer edge of your left foot into the ground. That helps also to maintain the position. You don't need to go deep, but pay attention to your hips staying in the center and not pushing out to the left. It's not the point to go deep, the point is to stretch out that left side of your body, and with the next inhale, come back up to the center, reach up, and with the exhale, bending towards the left this time, mirroring. Keeping your right foot, especially the outer edge, actively pressing into the ground, core active, navel to your spine, stretching out the right side this time. Breathe. With the next inhale, come back up to the center, release your fingers, and with the next exhale, draw a big half circle down, back, arriving down with your arms. Inhale, lift them back up again. And exhale, big circle, opening the chest, opening the shoulders, moving out the shoulders. One more time, inhale up. And exhale, big opening. And then we are going to warm up the spine by rolling down. For that, I'm turning around so you can see me better. But you can just stay the way you are standing right now, finding back to your straight up position. Spine is long. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and with the exhale, chin comes down to the chest. And now first just stop here. Stay here for a moment. Inhale, imagine you could directly inhale into the back of your neck, there where the skull is meeting the neck. Expand this area. And with the next exhale, start rolling down one vertebra after the other, stopping at the point where you start to feel the stretch around your shoulder blades. Core is really active, abs are pulling inwards and upwards. And inhale, expanding this area in between the shoulder blades. And exhale, start rolling down, abs are pulling inwards and upwards. one vertebra after the other, until you notice that if you go further, you would need to tilt your pelvis already. You want to stay at this point where your pelvis is still vertical. That means your hands are going to be somewhere around your knees. Let your head hang. And just inhale into this area, your mid back, lower back, like if you would directly inhale, expand that area. And exhale, start rolling down one vertebra after the other, still pulling your navel to your spine, pulling your abs inward and upward. And now stop with your fingers just hovering somewhere above the ground, depending on your flexibility, still holding your core active, still pulling your abs inward and up. And with that, you will notice you will expand this back side of your pelvis, the lowest part of your back. Imagine inhaling directly there and expanding. And with the exhale, just release your abs, release yourself as much down as you can. You can slightly bend your knees. You want to fold forward from your hips, from your hip bones, from the pelvis, and not from the lower back. If you need to, just bend your knees and just let your head hang, let your upper body hang. And just start bending one knee at a time, stretching the other one as much as you can, just warming up the back of the legs. Let your head hang and just holding it a bit up because of the microphone. And you can involve the hips this time also, no need to keep them so still. Really stretching out the hamstrings, the calves, the whole back side of the legs. Just make it in a way that it feels good. And then slowly stop. Try stretching your knees as much as you can. They can still stay bent. And with the next exhale, pull your navel to your spine. Activate your abs. Start rolling up one vertebra after the other. Last the shoulders, last the head. Inhale. Lengthen your spine and exhale, now rolling down in a continuous fluid motion in your own speed, whatever feels right for you. Whole core is working until the last moment. Legs are also working. Arriving down, hanging, and with the next exhale, start rolling up. Notice how first your calves are switching on, then your thigh muscles, then your core, your abs are taking over all the work to put your upper body back in an upright position. And one more time, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, roll down in your own favorite speed. You can make it as fast, as slow as you want. Just keep your breath flowing in the meantime and try focusing on really rolling one vertebra after the other, arriving forward fold. And the next exhale again, rolling up one vertebra after the other. Warming up all the spine, all the body, last the shoulders, last the head. Now I'm turning back so you can see me better. We are going to warm up the feet, the ankles. For that, place your weight on your left foot so you can move your right foot around. And other than that, just keep the position and just start moving around your right leg, crossing it in front of the left leg, bringing it back, crossing it behind your left leg, drawing half circles, already trying to maintain this balance, core active, pelvis is in the center. Just notice how far you can go before you need to turn your hips or your pelvis in order to be able to go further. Just notice this kind of edges. It's just like information on your body. It doesn't matter how big you can do it. It's not important. It's just gathering information on your own body, warming up the leg, the hips, moving out the thigh bone in the hip socket. Few more times, just maybe one more time back. And one more time front, and when you're foot is in front of the other, just place your foot down, but don't put too much weight on it, so you can, with the next inhale, lift up your right heel. Really try to lift it up as much as you can, bending the knee, and with the exhale, placing it back down, and 3 more times. With the inhale, lifting your heel. It's not a big thing, it's not that very visible, but it's just to warm up the feet, the ankles, the knees. 2 more times. Inhale, lifting the heel. And exhale down. 1 more time. Inhale, lifting the heel. And exhale down. And then try finding your balance. Core is active. Focus point is there. Lifting up your leg. Just a bit, just so your foot has a place to go around when you are drawing circles with your ankles. We are really not paying too much attention on our ankles during the day. We have our feet in shoes many times, in big part of the day. And it's just nice to move them out, also draw some circles, then change the direction, draw some circles in the other direction as well. Spine is long, core is active, focus point is there, already training your balance. You may feel already on your standing leg that it's working, then stop slowly. And just few times, just point your toes forward and then flex your toes, pulling them to your knees. I like to exhale while pointing and inhale while flexing, but you can do the other way around, or however it is comfortable for you. Just keep your breath continuous, maintaining your balance. Just few times, and then release your leg back down on the ground. You can maybe shake out your legs if you need to, and we are warming up the next leg, the left leg. So placing your weight on your right foot this time, maintaining your balance. Spine is long, shoulders wide, core active. And then just start drawing small circles, crossing forth in the front, in the back. Again, noticing how far you can go before you need to change something in the position. Turn your hips. Just warming up the hips, the leg. Just observing our own body, and maybe 1 more time to the back. You may notice that on one leg you are a bit more stable than on the other leg. That's very normal. Placing your foot in front without putting too much weight on it. So on the inhale you can lift your heel and then place it back down, and again lifting your heel and placing it down, trying to lift as high as you possibly can. Bending the knee, exhale down, inhale again, exhale down, and now try lifting your foot forward and start drawing circles with your ankles. It's very hard to keep your balance in this position. You can maybe find a wall or a chair that you can touch with one hand, so you get a bit more stability for this warming up part. This time is now more about the warming up the ankles, not so much about the balance yet, but it's already a good exercise for your balance. And then turn the direction, do few circles in both directions. And then point your foot and flex your foot, pulling the toes towards the knee, pointing, flexing, keeping your balance, core is active. 1 more time maybe, just pointing, flexing, and then releasing your foot down on the ground. Move out your feet, your legs if you need to, find back to your position, shoulders, spine, core active. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, activate your core nearer to your spine, and on the next inhale, bringing your weight forward and lifting your heels up. You can have your hands on your hips. And just find this position. The ankles stay in the center. Try not to let them fall out or in. Try to keep them straight. That's really strengthening the ankles as well. Core is active. Focus point is there. And on the exhale, releasing the heels back down as slowly and quietly as you possibly can. And then keep going. Inhale, lift. And exhale down. And if you want, you can add an arm movement. Lift your arms up when you go up and then release them down when you go downwards. If it's too much for you, then just keep your hands on your hips. I'm just gonna do that right now as well. A few more times. Inhale up, core active, focus point is there, exhale down. This is a very small exercise, but it's actually really very useful for training the whole back side of the legs, starting from the heels up to your glutes, and also maintaining your core active, maintaining your spine long. Only 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. And 1 more time. Inhale, lift up, and now hold. Stay here. Spine is long, keep breathing, core very active, focus point is there, ankles are stable in the center, pelvis is stable in the center. You can add a small bouncing, pulsing movement with your heels up and down if you want. Some more challenge, you will feel that it's working your glutes quite well, this very tiny movement, or you can just stay still. You can also try to lift your arms and notice how this is really changing or the balance. You can, if you want some more challenge, you can try to twist to one side or to the other. Or you can even try to close one eye or close both, and you will notice how it's really affecting the balance. I almost just fell out as well, and just, that happens. And don't worry if you are shaking or moving much. That means your muscles are really working, really adjusting, really trying to find these balancing positions. That's really good. And then one more inhale. And with the exhale, try placing your heels back down on the ground as slowly as you possibly can. And then you can move out your legs a bit if you need to. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, just rolling down. One vertebra after the other in your own speed. Let your head hang for a moment. And on the next exhale, start rolling back up. Again, one vertebra after the other. Last the shoulders, last the head. And then we are going to do another round of this exercise. Hands on hips. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale down. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Core active. Back side of the body, your legs of the lower body is working. Calves, ankles, hamstrings, the glutes, the core is active, focus point is there. 2 more times. And one last time, and now just hold. And again, you can choose to experiment with one of these things by lifting the arm or closing the eye or just bouncing a bit with your heels. Keep breathing, shoulders are relaxed, spine is long, core active, focus point is there, cardio, stand stop. Inhale 1 more time and exhale, release your heels as slowly and quietly as you can. Shake out your legs a bit. And then we are going to open our feet wider. And first just pushing your hips from one side to the other, just a little bit warming up the hips, softening the hips. Couple times. You can see also if you're reaching your arm Stretching out your side. How this is much different from the beginning when we had our pelvis in the center. Just reaching to the other direction with your arm as your hip, and then coming back and just find this position. And we want to turn out the legs now, but not only turning from the feet, but also turning from the hips, so the whole leg is turning out in the hips already. So what we want to have is that when you bend your knees are going directly in the same line as your second toe. So you don't want to have your feet either more inside or more outside. That's really not very good for the joints in the long run. So you really want to have this turning out feeling the whole time. And I'm just turning to show you. So we don't want to press the butt to the back, like it's not really like when we're squatting or something like that, but really you want to go down directly, tailbone going down towards the ground, knees are opening to the same direction. You can really just check out how it is for you and really spend a moment on adjusting it. And spine is long, core is active, and that's how you want to have this turning feeling the whole time from your hips, from your whole leg, not just the ankles, not just the feet. So finding this position, you can really just stop the video even to find this position. It's really important to keep our knees safe in this position. So with the inhale, lengthen your spine, and with the exhale, start going down directly in the center. Legs turning out. You can also lift your arms if you want, or you can just keep them behind your head. And then on the inhale, come up, arms come down or stay behind the head and keep going. Inhale down, turning your legs out the whole time, core is active, spine is long. Few more times, arms are moving in an opposite way as the body. They go up when you go down, and they come down when you go up. If this is too confusing, then just keep your hands behind your head and just focus on turning out your legs. You want really your knees going on the same line as your toes, not inside of it, not outside of it. Really protecting your knees, and just see how far down you can go. Feel your legs really working the whole time. Few more times. Exhale, going down, tailbone directly in the center. And two more times. Exhale down. Inhale up, core active, spine is long. Exhale down. Now stay here, hands come behind your head. And just hold it for a moment. You can also do small pulses, noticing probably already how your thighs are really working. Keep this turning out feeling the whole time. Knees are above the toes, that's very important. And then just stop, hold for a moment. You can try to go even lower if you can. And then just release, come back up. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, going down one more time. Tailbone directly down, hands behind your head. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, bending towards the right. Shoulders stay on top of each other. Inhale back, and three more times. Exhale down. Maintaining the position with the legs, knees towards the toes. Core is active, sides of the abs are also working additionally. Elbows are open, shoulders on top of each other. Inhale back and release, stretch your legs, shake them out a bit. Inhale and exhale, going down again, bending to the other side. Inhale and exhale to the left, maintaining the position. Moving only towards the side, not bending forward with your top elbow or shoulder. It's not the point to go deep. It's the point to work our abs, the sides of the abs, the obliques as well. And inhale, release your legs, shake them out a bit. And with the next exhale, going down one more time, tailbone directly down towards the ground, legs turning outside, knees following the toes, core active. Inhale and exhale, twisting to the right this time. Inhale back, exhale twist. Inhale back 2 more times, twisting from the belly button. Almost done. Probably your legs are getting really tired by now. One more time. And then release. Shake your legs out a bit. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, going down for one last round. On the exhale, twisting towards the left this time. Inhale back to the center, twisting from the belly button, core active, navel to the spine. Legs are stable, knees towards the toes. And one more time, exhale, twist. Inhale back. Exhale, going a bit more down if you can, and then inhale, release. Release your arms, shake your legs. And then you can turn your toes now towards the screen, towards the long side of your mat, or even slightly more inside. Inhale, lift your arms, lengthen your spine, and exhale, start rolling down one vertebra after the other, arriving to this forward fold with your legs open, stretching out the inner thighs, the hamstrings. You can push your hips from left to right, stretching out the opposite inner thigh a bit more. And notice if you open your legs a bit wider, then it's more easy to come down. So just find the position that is suitable for you, and then start bending your right knee. Left leg stays straight, stretched out, and come down as much as you can without lifting that right heel from the floor, and stop where you notice that you cannot keep it on the floor anymore if you go more down. If you're a bit more flexible and you can go down completely with your hips, then you can turn your left foot, your toes and your knees towards the ceiling, and just maintain this position, still making sure that the knees are in the same line as the toes, even in this position, and just stay here and breathe, stretching out the inner thighs, opening the hips after all this work. And then slowly start moving back to the center and start bending your left knee, keeping your right leg straight. And again, find how far you can come down without lifting your heel. And just stay wherever you manage to stay, with your heels, both heels down. And again, if you can come down a bit more, completely with your hips, then you can turn your foot to the ceiling and knee pointing to the ceiling, and this other knee is staying still above the toes and just stretching like that. But if this is too much for you, if your heel comes up, then it's really better to come a bit back up and put your heel down on the ground. So just choose the position that is more suitable for you. And just relax and stretch your inner thigh after all this work. Breathe. You can try to fold forward, come down with your forehead as much as you can, or just stay wherever you feel comfortable with your upper body. And then whatever position you are taking, just come back in the center with both knees straight. Slightly bend your knees in order to protect your knees when rolling up, and roll up. And then just close your legs by moving the heels towards each other, and then the toes and the heels and the toes and the heels and the toes, arriving back to hip wide open position. Shake out your legs. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, just rolling down one last time comfortably in your own speed.
And then when you are arriving into a forward fold, just start bending your knees, come down with your hips and take a seat on your mat along the long side of your mat. Stretching your right knee, right leg, and bending your left leg and having your left foot in front of you like this half cross-legged position, both sit bones on the ground. Right knee is pointing up and toes are pointing up. And first of all, just start walking forward with your hands folding forward just as much as you can by keeping your sit bones on the ground, the knees pointing up the whole time, and just release yourself towards the ground. Breathe, relax. And then walk back with your hands towards your hips, and now we are going to bend to the right. And you can see if your leg is a bit more towards the front of your mat, then better you place your right hand behind your knee. If you can open your leg a bit more by keeping both sit bones on the ground and knee pointing up, then you can place your hand in front. So choose whichever position is better for you. It's also okay to keep this knee slightly bent. So I'm showing the first version now with the inhale, lifting your left arm and bending over to the right. Shoulder stays back, shoulders on top of each other. And so I'm not folding over my leg, I'm folding directly towards the side now. Stretching out the left side of my body, keeping the left sit bone consciously actively on the ground. Again, no point to go deep. Point is to reach and stretch that side, and if you are more flexible and your leg is a bit more open, then you can place your lower arm here in front of your calf and stretch towards the side like that, still making sure that your shoulders are on top of each other, shoulder stays back, and just breathe in whichever version you find yourself, just stretching and breathing. With the next inhale, lift yourself back up and release your arm. And what's going to happen now is you are turning with your shoulders towards that right leg. So your shoulders are looking the same direction as your right leg without changing anything in your legs. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, folding from the hips forward. Releasing the hands on the two sides of your right leg and folding over your leg by keeping your opposite left sit bone on the ground. And just release and breathe and observe the different stretching sensations. It's quite this asymmetric position, so just notice where you feel the stretch in your hips, your back, hamstrings. Then start walking back with your hands towards your hips and lifting up your upper body and changing the legs. When I had these big stretches, I usually like to help my leg with my hand to bend and come back to the center, instead of relying on those muscles that I just stretched right before. So changing the position, again, see how is it more comfortable for you. Knees pointing up, you can keep it slightly bent. You want to have both sit bones on the ground, so that's the important part, and having the straight leg is not that important. And first just start again walking forward with your hands, coming down with your forehead. It again doesn't matter how deep you can come, but keep your sit bones on the ground, otherwise you are going to lose this stretching in your lower back, which is really nice. Breathe. And then start walking back with your hands towards your hips, and now again bending to the side. You can again decide if you better keep your hand behind or in front of the knee. I'm gonna now do the second version because I did that one on the first side as well. So inhale, right arm comes up this time, and exhale, folding to the left side. Stretching out the right side, shoulders on top of each other, sit bones are grounded, especially the opposite, the left one. And just noticing where you feel the stretch on the sides, on the right side. Your hips are opening, your left inner thigh, hamstrings are stretching. Just breathe. And on the next inhale, come back up, release your arm, and then turn with your shoulders towards that straight leg, and still keeping the same position with your lower body. Inhale, lifting your arms, and exhale again, folding over that leg. Forehead comes towards the knee, hands are just on the two sides of your leg, sit bones grounded. And again, just observing the different sensations in this asymmetrical position. Notice if there are some differences compared to the other side. You feel the stretching maybe in some other points in your back or leg. And just breathe and relax without any forcing or pushing or pulling. It doesn't matter how deep you can go. It's important to stretch out those muscles that we use today. And then you can walk back with your hands towards your hips. And again, I like to have my leg after these big stretches to fold back into a crossed position, just comfortably, equally on each sit bones. Inhale, lift your arms. You can even look up, stretch, lengthen your spine, and exhale, release your arms down. And one last big inhale, lifting your arms. Open your chest, your shoulders slightly by looking up, lengthen your spine, and exhale, release the arms, but keep the long spine. And thank you for joining me today. If you like this workout, you can check out my other short workouts or come join my live online class on Wednesday evenings. And if you like to support me doing these classes and videos, then you can do that on my profile on Buy Me a Coffee, which is similar to Patreon, or you can find my PayPal link also in the description of this video. And thank you if you do that. And otherwise, have a beautiful day and hope to see you next time.